Hello students, today we are going to study multiplication of fractions. But before that, let us have a review. Last time we discussed about addition and subtraction of fractions, specifically the similar fractions. So here, step 1 is finding the LCM or least common multiple. Step 2, finding the equivalent fractions. Step 3, add or subtract. Now let's move on to our topic for today. Steps in multiplying fractions. Multiply the numerators. Again, when we say numerator, that is the number above the fraction bar. Step 2, multiply the denominators. Denominator is the number below or under the fraction bar. Step 3, express the answer in simplest form. Remember, numerator above the fraction bar, denominator below or under the fraction bar. Alright? Let us have some examples. Letter A, 1/3 times 4/5 equals, again, step 1, multiply the numerators. 1 times 4 equals 4. Step 2, multiply the denominators. 3 times 5 equals 15. Now our answer is 4/15. Now let's check if this is already in simplest form. Alright, this fraction is already in simplest form. So therefore, this is our final answer, 4/15. Example letter B, 2/4 times 3/6 equals 2 times 3 equals 6. 4 times 6 equals 24. Now let's check if this fraction is already in simplest form. No, not yet. 6/24 is not yet in simplest form because we can still divide it by 6. Alright, divide numerator and denominator by 6. 6 divided by 6 equals 1. 24 divided by 6 equals 4. Now therefore, our final answer is 1/4. Next, example letter C, 6/8 times 2/3 equals, multiply the numerator. 6 times 2 equals 12. Multiply the denominators. 8 times 3 equals 24. Check if this fraction is already in simplest form. Not yet. 12/24 is not yet in simplest form because we can divide numerator and denominator by 12. 12 divided by 12 equals 1. 24 divided by 12 equals 2. Therefore, our final answer is 1/2. Example letter D, 1 and 3/7 times 5/9 equals, now look, here we have a mixed fraction or mixed number. So what are we going to do first? Correct. Let's change this fraction to improper fraction, or change 1 and 3/7 to improper fraction. By changing, we have to multiply 7 times 1 and then add 3. 7 times 1 plus 3 equals 10. and then copy the denominator. 1 and 3 over 7 equals 10 over 7. And then multiply it by 5 over 9. Follow multiplication procedures. 10 times 5 equals 50. 7 times 9 equals 63. Now let's check if this fraction is in simplest form. Yes, 50 over 63 is already in simplest form. Therefore, this is now our final answer. Alright? Now, there is another method in multiplying fractions faster. This method is called cancellation or cancellation method. Now, to further understand this method, let us watch this video.
We can often make the job of multiplying fractions easier by using cancellation. Let's see how this works. Let's say we're asked to multiply the fractions 3/5 times 4/9. First of all, we can check the fractions themselves to see if they can be simplified. 3/5 is already in its simplest form. Also, the fraction 4/9 is also in its simplest form. We cannot divide 4 and 9 by the same number other than 1. But what about the diagonal numbers? One diagonal pair of numbers is the 4 and the 5. 4 and 5 cannot be divided by the same number other than 1, so nothing can be cancelled between those two. Now we'll consider the other diagonal pair of numbers, the 3 and the 9. Recall that 3 and 9 are both divisible by 3. We'll draw a line through both the 3 and the 9 to cancel them. And we'll divide both of them by 3. 3 divided by 3 is equal to 1, so we'll write in a 1 by the crossed out 3. And 9 divided by 3 is equal to 3, so we'll write a 3 by the crossed out 9. Now we're left with 1/5 times 4/3. When we multiply these two fractions, we can combine them into a single fraction. The 1 and the 4 are both the numerator of the new fraction, and there's a multiplication sign between them. And the 5 and the 3 are both in the denominator of the new fraction, and there's also a multiplication sign between those. So this fraction is 1 times 4 over 5 times 3. We can multiply these two pairs to get a single fraction. In the numerator, we get 1 times 4 is equal to 4. And in the denominator, we have 5 times 3, which is equal to 15. So the final answer to this multiplication of fractions is the fraction 4/15. There's no whole number other than 1 that can divide into both 4 and 15. So this answer is in its simplest form, and we finish this question. The fraction 4/27 is already in its simplest form, and so is the fraction 3/100. Now let's check the diagonal numbers and see if we can do some cancelling and simplifying. When we look at 4 and 100, we realize that both of these can be divided by 4. So we'll cancel each of these numbers out and divide each of them by 4. 4 divided by 4 is equal to 1, so we'll write a 1 here. And 100 divided by 4 is equal to 25, so we'll write a 25 down here. Now we'll check the other two diagonal numbers and see if they can be cancelled and simplified. We realize that both 3 and 27 can be divided by 3, so we'll cancel these out and divide each of them by 3. 3 divided by 3 is equal to 1, so we'll write a 1 here by the crossed out 3. We'll also divide 27 by 3, which comes out to 9. So we'll write in a little 9 here by the crossed out 27. Now we have 1 and 1 in the numerator, and 9 and 25 in the denominator. We can now write a new fraction which has 1 times 1 in the numerator, and 9 times 25 in the denominator. Now we can multiply the pairs in the numerator and the denominator to give us a simpler fraction. In the numerator, 1 times 1 is equal to 1. And in the denominator, 9 times 25 is equal to 225. So our final answer is the fraction 1 over 225, or 1/225.
Alright, now again, let's have the standard method of multiplying fractions. Example letter E, 4 9s times 6 7s equals 24 over 63. Now, 24 over 63 is not yet in simplest form. Therefore, we have to divide it by 3. 24 divided by 3 equals 8. And 63 divided by 3 equals 21. Now, this method is called standard method. Let's try the cancellation method. Same example, 4 9s times 6 7s. Now, remember, in cancellation method, we only need one numerator and one denominator. Okay? For this example, let's check numerator 6 and denominator 9. We can cancel both numbers because these numbers are divisible by 3. So 6 divided by 3 equals 2. 9 divided by 3 equals 3. Alright, now we can multiply. 4 times 2 equals 8. 3 times 7 equals 21. Okay, as you can see, we both arrive in the same answer, which is 8 over 21. Now, it's up to you if you will use standard method or cancellation method. You can use this one or you can use this one. Okay? It's all up to you. Now, for your exercise, find the product. Express your answers in simplest forms. You can answer this exercise in your notebook. Okay? Copy and answer in your notebook. Alright, students, that's it for today. Did you understand our topic? Again, you can use standard method or you can use cancellation method. Okay? See you again in our next video. Keep safe, always wear your mask, and stay at home. Bye!